Ding dong. Hello?
Yes, that's right, infidels. You found us here, channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, where you get the most real talk, the best reviews of all your favorite wrestling shows from AEW and WWE, Impact, and more, because we're going to break it all down with the best staff in professional wrestling at HMG. So you don't need to go anywhere else, because there's no 5 stars here. There's only $5 face slaps, infidel. Hello, Akbar! So sign up today, channelattitude.com, Hameen Media Group, and join the Hameen Army for the most real talk in professional wrestling. YOLO!
The PWC Network. What the world is watching and listening to.
Hello everyone and welcome to the PWC Money in the Bank post-game show. I am your host Jimmy T and my co-host is doing all sorts of, was that the Hardy Boys or is it the Jeffrey Boys? I don't know, but being wrong feels so good apparently. It is Dr. Jeff Lippman. Welcome back to the PWC and welcome to the Money in the Bank post-game show. London, put your hands up.
Yeah, hands up. Baby, hands up. Yeah, so wrong about a lot of things, but pleasantly so. Obviously, Michael Cole lied to us when he said that the Cody match was the main event, which threw off some thinking, I suppose. We got one of the expected returns, not necessarily in the place, but well, in that match, but not necessarily the guy that we thought at the time. But I don't think it was disappointing. So I don't know. Listen, another PLE, which I really didn't know what to expect going in, and another one that, in my mind, over-delivered.
I mean, tell me a crap PLE by WWE in 2023.
I can't. I can't do it. And why would I even try to? I mean, first of all, this has nothing to do with I mean, it's just I guess a geography. But I get a show that starts at 3:00 and ends before 7. I mean, this is the dream. I mean, this is fantastic. Like, if I actually was someone with a life, I'd still have my entire Saturday Night Life out.
Well, it's kind of similar times.
I could be at Morton's by 8:15. I could have a scotch by 8:20. I mean,
well, for me, it was pretty early. It started at 5 a.m. ended obviously at
no one cares about your
time. No, but what a weird time though. I mean, it went for what, 3.5 hours?
Oh, like 3.5 hours, almost to the minute. I mean,
that's weird.
Beautiful.
No, but really, they never do that, though. They don't usually do 3.5. If they go over 3, it's usually 4. It's a weird sort of aspect. I don't know. It's just...
It is. I mean, And the pre-show, as usual, is nothing except there was one scene with Paul Heyman doing a live promo where he was crying, talking about he wasn't going to be responsible for basically how brutal Roman Reigns was going to be, which was not even remotely close to what we saw in the ring. So even that, while it was good, I mean, he acted exactly the same. He's still slow and methodical. So that even that was like a big nothing.
Oh, how good was the chant, by the way? Stand up if you hate Roman.
I can't. Funny. I don't understand British.
So half the chance you didn't actually understand?
I would say 100% chance I didn't understand.
They were calling him a wanker a lot.
Okay.
Just quietly, if you know what that means.
I think wanker means a cock.
Well, no, wanker means a jerk off.
Oh, I thought pulling a wanker. Terrific. He's a jerk off.
I'm from Australia.
Big difference between calling someone a jerk off and a cock. I mean, it's the same thing.
Oh, whatever, you know what I mean. But we use the same sort of terminology. We love saying wanker also, so shout outs to the English. But no, the chants were off the hook, man. And what's this about Cena and WrestleMania?
Well, I don't think they send John Cena out there to do that whole thing if they haven't already signed a deal with the mayor of London and or the government of Great Britain. I would imagine there'll be an announcement tomorrow or Monday that WrestleMania is going to be in London. What is it? I guess 2024 is already set. So what? 2025, 2026? I mean,
I don't see him announcing it. I don't see him announcing it this early. No way.
They absolutely. Why would they do all that without that? Yeah, and you know where they're going to announce it to be? Wembley.
Oh, fuck, 100%. Absolutely. And if they do announce it early, like you say, then this is literally shots fired right back at AEW.
Sure, of course it is. And AEW said, there's WWE copying us again.
Oh, fuck off.
And you know what? there's not nothing to that, but it's like who cares?
Yeah, well, exactly.
At least these things will really be bought by actual people.
Well, let's
not
hope
by
so.
AI.
Oh, homeboys in the chat saying, what up, motherfuckers? What up? And the Comic King's in the house. Hey, yo. You're not happy right now. Let me guess, Todd. You fucked up your pick'ems, didn't you? Don't worry. It fucked us all up.
Does he really gamble on wrestling?
There you go. I don't know. Good question.
Yeah, sucked in the pick'em.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, he's part of the HMG pick'ems.
This was a hard show to pick. They fooled us in a lot of ways. I mean, the whole thing with Shotzi was threw me in an entirely different direction. If it wasn't for that, I would have picked Io, or I would have been very conflicted between Io and Trish.
Well, to be fair, I mean, what did I get right? I think I got like 3 or 4, and the rest I totally fucked up.
3 or 4.
We sucked. We sucked pretty bad. You got the main event wrong, right? You went with Roman and Solo, correct? And I went with the Usos, thank God. But yeah.
What's at stake? Thank God.
No, well, nothing was at stake. Obviously, just bragging rights.
Don't waste your praise to the Sky Genie.
First world title shot and shit the bed.
Well, those are 2 separate things. Then get your bed clean.
Yeah, that's actually good advice, just quietly. But no, look, man, it was a great show. It's just the time that it was on for me is a bit, a bit out there. But that's all right. But like you said, for you, 3 p.m., beautiful. Usually for me during the summer, it's on, all PLEs and Raws and SmackDowns are on at 12 at, lunchtime, which I don't mind myself. But look, man, still, the show was great. But, yeah, like what Todd said, in my defense, who saw Shayna Baszler turning on Ronda Rousey? What the fuck? Yeah, that was weird, man.
No, that was completely out of left field. Don't know, they'll make up the reason why all these years, I could have had them. The best years of my life wasted. I had to be with Nia and Maddie and all those. We could have been dominating for the last 7 years. But no, you wanted to be a star. You wanted to be in movies and video games and TV shows. You're on a TV show. I mean, we know what the promo is already going to be. But this is too late. It's like nobody cares. And I saw a tweet from Kevin Castle who, he didn't say this before, but he said, the word is that both ladies were frustrated with getting no response from the crowd as a team.
I saw that too.
So they decide maybe they get more heat if they had a feud. Okay, listen, that sounds like it makes sense, but frankly, if you have that kind of information, say it before the show, not after.
Yeah, no, he's just trolling, man, at the end of the day. I don't think it's that, though. No, do you think he had inside word? Do you think he could have been cross?
Well, could have been, but obviously he didn't. Either he chose not to relay it, or he told him he wouldn't relay. He wouldn't say anything about it early, or he heard afterwards, or he's doing what some people do, and we all do it sometimes: is pretend that we had knowledge for that we did not actually have knowledge of.
It's true, and like Todd says, it makes Baszler relevant again, I guess. But still, it's weird and killed me in the pick. It killed us too. I wouldn't have thought Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez
would kill me. I got the match wrong. Who cares? I mean, look, actually, this is good in so many ways because one, they re-injured Liv's arm, and this is a tag team. Listen, they're vulnerable. Other female teams can beat Raquel and Liv. Beating Shayna and Ronda just isn't believable. So it's. To have this as well, it's just took me off guard. I don't mind it. I don't hate it at all. It was a true blue surprise. And them feuding, fine. I don't really. That's the thing. I don't really care about either one of them. I don't think. I mean, for all I care, they can go to the dark side of the moon and fight forever. I don't. Blast off. I don't care.
Oh, that's funny, man. Well. It is what it is. It was weird though. I still think it's weird. And like you said, the promo will be pretty much just that. Maybe she's jealous. Maybe she had a crush on Ronda and she had to settle for second best in Dakota Kai.
Those are two very different types.
Who would you actually go for?
I don't know. I think Zoe is closer to the Ronda spectrum than Dakota's like all the way on the other side.
Completely.
Pretty much everyone else.
Completely, dude. That's a hard one. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, let's move on to the first match of the evening, shall we, Jeff? And it is the men's Money in the Bank ladder match with Damian Priest versus LA Knight versus Logan Paul versus Pete Butch Dunne, Ricochet, Santos Escobar, and Shinsuke Nakamura. And look, man, this
Santos Escobar's look for a second.
What was he, Zorro?
I don't know what he was. It was some sort of like I didn't dislike it. It just came out of nowhere. Like he had a new haircut. He had like a Lone Ranger mask that was like painted on his face. He cut his hair in a strange way, though he still kept the pigtails. Or the braid ponytail on the back. Right. But he was wearing I guess it was traditional warrior garb. I don't know. I'm just guessing. I really don't know. It was sort of cool, but if this is him reverting back to like a more of a King Cuerno character, I dig it. But he definitely looked like a heel, not a face.
I still think he's going to turn. And as a matter of fact, I think this was just a one-off, Jeff. It was just because of the occasion, man.
I would agree with you, except for the haircut. He got a haircut.
Well, that's true. I think what's in right now is the Uso Solo Sikoa hairstyles, if you know what I'm saying. He kind of looks like he's gotten that look.
Dude, you ain't Samoan, man.
Homeboy brings up an interesting thing, though, Jeff. Amanda Nunes retired from UFC, so Ronda Rousey should go back and fight. Could that be what might happen?
No, Ronda Rousey can't fight in the UFC anymore, and I have no idea who Amanda Nunes is.
She is the best ever female fighter, period, man. Undefeated. She destroys bitches.
Why would anyone think that Ronda Rousey, after 7 years, can go back and fight people? I mean, she was real. She got beat in her era, and she was so dominant in the era because there weren't that many female fighters. Let's face it. If she started fighting 5 years later, nobody would know her name.
Maybe, and that's exactly what happened. As soon as Amanda Nunes came into it, as soon as a few other women came into it,
she got beat by Holly Holm. Holly Holm was the one.
Holly Holm was surprising. Well, that was a shock, and that happened in Melbourne. Funny enough, in my neck of the woods.
Where's Holly Holm now? Nowheresville.
Yeah, and she was kind of sucking a little bit, even when she beat Ronda, sort of. But it is what it is.
Cyborg, isn't that where's Cyborg now? Nowhere.
She's done. After Amanda Nunes beat her, she was gone.
Right. So,
Amanda Nunes.
What's making anyone think that 9 years later, Ronda Rousey can go back and fight? She's not George Foreman. She's not 6'6", 300 pounds that nobody can actually physically hurt him. It's just that ain't the way.
The fact that guy kept fighting for as long as he did is just incredible.
He'd fight now if they'd pay him to do it.
100%. Todd says that, or going for the Aztec warrior look. I know what you're saying. It kind of looked like that. Well, what he was wearing around his chest and shit, sure.
Having never actually met an Aztec warrior, I don't know, but I that was sort of my assumption that it was some, I don't know if it was Aztec, Maya, Toltec, Olmec, or one of probably the other 750 different identified tribes. I have no idea, but sure, that would have been my guess too. But I don't know, so I don't want to say it.
Fair enough. I mean, it was definitely Aztec warrior-esque, though. But his face mask, whatever the hell you want to call it,
that was Lone Ranger-esque.
Yeah, Lone Ranger. Like, it's either that or Zorro.
Right, Zorro.
Something like that.
Yeah, he didn't have 6 shooters or a saber. So
That's true. But anyway, let's get into the first matchup, shall we, Jeff?
Zorro had a foil, right? It wasn't a saber. I'm not really sure.
A sword, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it wasn't one of the thin swords, like the fencing swords.
Yeah, like a fencing sword,
like a foil.
Exactly.
It was a foil.
Right. No, it definitely was that. I mean, wasn't Antonio Banderas the last one that played Zorro in a movie?
There's never a last one, but yeah, he was the one in the movie. I mean, my favorite, of course, was Charles Hamilton, who played Zorro the Gay Blade. You've met one. I'm an Aztec warrior. Listen, you're none of those things.
Sure, homeboy.
You're not even one. You're 88.
Exactly.
Hey, matter of fact, you know what? Just for that, you're now homeboy 22.
You've gone straight back down. As a matter of fact, he could be homeboy 11 at this point.
I know. You're right. You're gonna be in danger of a 10 count pretty soon. You're gonna be counted out. It's gonna be pretty soon. You're gonna be homebo, then homebo.
Look at this guy. Who is that guy with you, Jeff? I don't remember him without a hat. I do sometimes not wear a hat. Clearly, it's one of our boys. I don't know who it is, but
maybe people want to see your snazzy new haircut, where you have Santos Escobar's old haircut.
Oh boy. Anyway,
he's got this little rat tail thing on the back.
No, not now. Right now, it's in a bun. The man bun's out.
That's right. Very feminine.
Thanks. And look at Todd. Homeboy's a warrior, a keyboard warrior. He ain't lying. See what I mean? He knows. No. But he knows. He gets it. That's what's funny. Anyway, back to the first matchup. This had it all. I mean, it was a fun match to start off with. LA Knight was mega over. I mean,
so over.
I mean, over's like the wrong word. I don't even know what to call it, but everyone was just chanting his name as he was coming out. And it's a shame they didn't pull the trigger with him, but I get it.
He was doing heel things, and people would chant it every time someone hit him. They're like, "Oh!" And then if he made a comeback, they're like, "Yeah." And he's like BDM Nakamura or something, and they're cheering from it. It's like it didn't matter who it was. They didn't care if he was facing a heel or a face. He was fighting like a heel, and people are cheering it. I would have called an audible. I have to tell you, I would have called an audible. And I'm not just agreeing with my prior pick. I'm not mad about it. I think this is cool. It has potential, but this is just to further the breakup of the Judgment Day, which was going to break up anyway. And if Priest is going to be a face, I just think Money in the Bank is better with the heel.
Yeah, but like I said, I understood. Well, I just had a feeling he wasn't going to win. Now I didn't pick Damian Priest, obviously, but I understood why Damian Priest did end up winning, because like we were saying off the air, he's in some ways been the MVP for WWE from the start of the year till now. Right now, I just think he's the workhorse of this company, and he's taken a lot of shit, and I think they're just rewarding him for the hard work that he has put in.
He's been at one important spot.
Yeah, but come on, man. He's taken a lot of L's.
I have no idea what you mean with the workhorse. I mean, you could say that about Seth Rollins. You could say that about...
No, when I say workhorse, like what I mean by that, not Seth Rollins' workhorse, obviously, but like a company guy. You know what I mean?
So by workhorse, you mean something entirely different. You mean like The Miz?
Yeah, sort of, but not that bad, obviously.
Well, you work on what kind of farm animal that you want to compare him to, and then we'll get back.
Farm animal.
We'll get back to it. You know what? Anything in the animal kingdom is available to you. It doesn't need to be farm animal. Doesn't even need to be a domesticated animal. You have the entire any phylum, genus, family, whatever species you want.
But will say something interesting though. When I was watching LA Knight's interview with Chris Van Fleet, which is pretty good, it only went for like 20 something minutes, but it was still pretty good. LA Knight said something interesting. Van Fleet actually asked him, "Do you think you'll win the Money in the Bank because you're so over, you should win it," and blah blah blah. And LA Knight said, "Anyone with ears can tell that he's over." And he replied, "Right, this is what Chris said to him: some people don't have ears." And that's interesting because what does that mean? Well, I know what it means. It means someone in the back might not fucking be a big fan of him personally. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's clear that that's Vince, obviously.
Well, he's the guy that turned him into Max Dupree, right?
Well, I mean, even before Max Dupree, he fired him once in a long time ago in LA in what the fuck was it? NXT, like in its ancient days. And he didn't hire him a whole bunch of times. He for whatever reason, maybe he thought he talked too much like The Rock or Stone Cold or Ric Flair, like everybody else says. I don't know why, if somebody is being compared to those three guys, that is in any way, shape, or form bad. I don't get it. But anyway, it's obviously Vince. The Max Dupree thing. I mean, it's so bizarre. Like some of the choices Vince has made is like exactly like the opposite of what you think Vince would do. I mean, you think that a guy that could talk, that's good looking, let's face it, white, with a jacked physique, that's what Vince would want. Somebody like Cross, who's big, muscular, got the girl. I mean, it's just legit white.
And he's white.
Well, he's Puerto Rican, but he looks white, but nobody knows that. And
he's got Greek in him too, Jeff. Just quietly.
Yeah, fuck the Greeks.
He does.
Seriously, this is why nobody likes the Greeks, because you're so marginal at this point. All you want to do is talk about how everybody is Greek in them. Nobody cares. You're a bankrupt
he said it
country,
himself.
It's unimportant. Just deal with it.
Look at you.
You're not even Greek, you're Australian. Why'd your family leave Greece? Because it sucks. That's why.
Shut up, man. Greece doesn't suck. You've been there.
All those delightful coasts, and people would rather go to fucking Croatia to vacation than Greece, because Greece sucks.
It doesn't suck. Croatia is popular right now, though.
Damn right it is.
It actually is, but fuck Croatia.
And
anyway.
you know what their tourist slogan is? Come to Croatia because Greece sucks.
No, come to Croatia because it's cheaper. I mean, it is. They're not part of the Euro.
It doesn't suck like Greece. That's what I'm reading.
You're such a liar.
I'm reading off the internet right now.
You're a liar.
Croatia tourism.gov.
Well, Croatians and Greeks don't really get along generally, if you know what I'm saying. But anyway,
nobody gets along with Greeks. Listen to you. You're insufferable.
Jesus Christ. Homeboy says, "Stop demoting me, goddammit."
Down to 21.
I thought he was 11. Chris Willen's in the house. Oh, there you go. Chris Willen says the Logan Paul / Ricochet spot was crazy. My kids were so into the whole match that LA Knight is on the chase now, and it's good for him. Hope it brings the dummy button back.
Me too.
Well,
it was crazy. I mean, I don't think it was meant to be that crazy. They got tangled up in the ropes, and like you could see bad things are coming. That maybe something they should have rethought. I hope everyone's okay. Just like I hope with Kenny and Will Ospreay. I hope everybody's okay. Just like with Sting, I hope he's okay. Or the damage he suffered was just a cracked tooth and whatever. But yeah, it was crazy. But if everyone's okay, terrific. I mean, obviously he cut something. He scraped something up. I don't know if it was from that spot or not. But they were talking about there was going to be a Ricochet Logan Paul feud coming up, and I mean, we all saw what they did in Royal Rumble when they did that fucking Dragon Ball Z spot and like both flew across the ring from opposite sides and collided in the middle. That was friggin' awesome. If they can recreate that and do something with it, that's awesome. And I'd rather see that than an LA Knight Logan Paul feud. Though, listen, I almost completely discounted the chance of Damian Priest winning. I mean, the only people I was more sure weren't winning were Nakamura, Dunn. I'm not even sure I was all the way sure about Santos. I think the Santos and Priest were tied for,
No, Santos had no hope.
The middle tier. So yeah, he wasn't in my top 3. I mean, I thought it'd be Knight or Logan Paul would be the most likely to win.
I don't know what Logan Paul and Ricochet were thinking by doing a Spanish fly off the ropes into the tables.
Well, Logan Paul doesn't do much thinking. Logan Paul probably is just like, go for it. I think he's just like, let's go, dude. And Ricochet
nearly went wrong, Jeff. That could have easily gone so wrong.
Maybe it did, but Ricochet. He's trained in that lucha way, so he's probably like, yeah, let's do it.
Jesus Christ, man! And also now he's from Vegas. Apparently, no more Kentucky.
Yeah, well, good for him. Look at him. He's civilized now.
I don't blame him for not wanting to say he's from Kentucky. Just quality.
So are you going to be done with the thumb thing? Because that was Kentucky Ricochet. Now he's Vegas.
Now he's
Vegas.
No. Yeah, Vegas. You know what they like getting up to.
Yeah, with Samantha Irvin. You can stop now.
Speaking of Samantha Irvin, I don't like her new hairstyle, dude.
She doesn't like yours.
It's not my new hairstyle, so screw her.
All right, yeah. Well, there you go.
Good segment. Anyway, great segment.
Good talk.
Yeah, of course. But anyway, as we said before, though, unfortunately or fortunately, whatever you look at it, Damian Priest does win by retrieving the Money in the Bank briefcase. Look, it sucks that LA Knight didn't win, but we're just assuming that he's going to be chasing now Damian Priest. I'm not sure if he is or he isn't.
I don't think he's going to chase Damian Priest at all. I think he'll be chasing probably Austin Theory or someone like that. I mean,
why not? I'm cool.
Well, for one, Damian Priest is on Raw, and second, Damian Priest is going to be,
you're right.
Damian Priest is going to be in a feud with Finn Balor.
You think so?
Yes. You saw Finn at the end, angry that Damian Priest distracted him there. He's making him nervous. You're going to cash it. Were you going to cash in on me if I won? I mean, come on. It's obvious that this whole Judgment Day thing was, the whole thing. And like, he's going to be like, what are you in my face about? You knew I was in the match. You knew I was going to win it. You were supposed to win. You didn't do your job. Dominic, you didn't do your job. Rhea, you didn't even help him do his job. I did my job. I'm the winner of the Judgment Day. And then you know what's going to happen? Then Dominic, Finn, and JD McDonough are going to attack him like a pack of jackals, just like when
JD's the upgrade
was good, the downgrade. He's like the Homeboy 88 version, and he's like Homeboy 11 now. It's gonna be like when the Undisputed Era was attacking Keith Lee. It looked like
make me laugh,
like a bunch of little jackals, attacking like a
little jackals.
Yeah, little jackals, like trying to attack a lion or something.
Jeff, you're funny, man. JD McDonough. Imagine that, the new leader though of Judgment Day or something like that. Like they replace Balor with JD McDonough. Right, because you know how they look alike and shit. Except JD McDonough is like a real poor man's version of Finn Balor.
I would just like to play a game where like you can take like Tyler Bate and JD McDonough's heads and like exchange bodies and see if they look any different or more ridiculous or the same, because both of them have gigantic heads and like odd little bodies.
They are big heads. That's true.
They are big
compared to their bodies.
They're potato heads. 2 potato heads.
Todd thinks that LA Knight is going to become the next Zack Ryder.
Shut your mouth.
Don't say that. Or Matt Cardona in his case.
Well, Matt Cardona is an upgrade from Zack Ryder. I mean, Matt Cardona is like the Homeboy 88 to Homeboy 21.
I agree. That's true. And Chris says, sorry, I'm drunk. Can't type for shit. Happy 4th of July, especially to the Australian fella. Just going to sit back and listen to the show. Cheers, PWC Cosmos.
Chris, you shouldn't have told us that, because generally you can't type for shit anyway. So not noticing any difference. Now we're just going to expect better and be disappointed.
Oh, fuck, man. I'm going to cry. Look at my eyes already. I'm crying. Fuck.
I know.
Anyway,
That.
it's all right.
You're like Paul Heyman
Homeboy's
during the
laughing.
pre-show. Who's that?
Oh, that's the homeboy. What is he now?
I think, what is he, down to 9? Homeboy single
Why are we
digit.
being assholes to the listeners, dude? Come on. We're being pricks now.
Well,
Anyway.
it's better than being assholes to each other, right?
I guess.
What do we need them for?
Yeah. Nah. Why? Nah. Anyway, we'll just leave it at this. Damian Priest does win, and we'll see what happens from here. Maybe you're right. I guess you're right. It seems like it's going to be friction, but I don't see Judgment Day totally breaking up. I think they could expel Balor, and then him and Dom.
No,
and
Priest,
what's her name?
Priest is the one that's going to go. You go. We've been fumbling and taking care of everybody else's business in Judgment Day except for mine. I do one thing by myself. You get on my case. I'm the lone wolf now.
Interesting. We'll see.
My
It'd be
judgment
cool
is the Judgment Day is over.
if-
At your promo, Damien, you're welcome.
There you go. We'll see.
Go ahead. There you go. You can steal my stuff. That's all right.
Raw will be interesting. That's for sure. Anyway, next.
Listen, don't get my hopes up.
No, I know. It probably won't be. It won't
all
be.
that interesting.
You're right. Well, anyway, the next match, which is bizarre, is for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, and that is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. I'll be honest, I was kind of in and out of this match. I didn't really care, but the news is Shayna Baszler, for whatever reason, turns on Ronda Rousey, and to cost them in, still being champs. Like I said, what's up with that?
They were absolutely destroying Liv and Raquel. Raquel was barely a factor in the match. They were
She was screaming, moaning. I mean, shit.
Liv was doing her best pain/sex noises out there. I mean, the arm is broken again, and then all of a sudden you see out of the back of the screen comes Shayna Baszler attacking and beating the hell out of Ronda. I'm distracted because ESPN keeps laying off people, and they just laid off Susie Colbert. Yeah.
Really?
ESPN's firing all sorts of people. They fired Max Kellerman, Susie Colbert.
What? Even Max?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Jeff Van Gundy.
Jeff Van Gundy, too, the former Knicks coach.
Yeah, the former Knicks coach, and yeah. I mean,
what the hell?
Yeah, they're not starting to bomb there, and it's funny because earlier this week when Drew Yari was complaining about the Netflix thing, and he's like, Disney's not going to, no one else is following. I said, you just watch. They're going to follow. They're just letting Netflix do it first. The next day, Costco said they're cutting down on their thing. And literally he said to me, Disney doesn't sweat it. They're the biggest company in the world. I go, you don't understand anything about business. There is no Disney. Disney owns like 75 other companies. They each have budgets, and they're each expected to have a business plan to make a profit or have a profit. And right now, ESPN is owned by Disney, and they are cutting out some top people. So Disney clearly is sweating it, and it's going to get to the point. It's going to get to some of your beloveds.
As a matter of fact, since we're on this subject, it's been projected that Disney was going to make some cuts with ESPN. Actually, about a year ago, even. Well, they did.
They made 2 rounds of cuts worldwide, but mostly people in amusement parks and in offices and on the cruise lines. But they cut about 10,000 people worldwide in the last year. And a lot of it's like international and things like that. So people don't really get spread out. But everyone knows Susie Colbert. Everyone knows Jeff Van Gundy.
Right.
You might know Max Kellerman, but there's other names.
No, if you're into boxing, you know exactly who he is.
I'm of mixed mind that this didn't happen a couple days earlier, because I actually interviewed for Garden Views a ESPN writer who he wrote a book on Thomas Jefferson, and that's what we were talking about. But I didn't know he was a writer I didn't know he was still currently a writer for ESPN, and I could have asked him about that stuff.
That's funny. Todd says ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports and bullshit. Yeah, party and bullshit.
I doubt they're even close.
Hey, man.
Todd McShay. Todd McShay is another name of someone that they let go.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm hearing that that Disney want to sell ESPN very soon. Especially the ratings have gone really down on all the cable.
Well, when you want to sell something, you do make it thinner.
Right. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Wouldn't surprise me. Actually, I've got a feeling that ESPN won't even survive in the next few years, which would be a shame unless they sort of go in a different...
What does that say about sports? What does that say about this whole thing that sports is the one thing that's not going to be... I actually think the entire entertainment industry is slowly killing the entire entertainment industry. And what are we going to do? And what, you know what the end result is going to be? Like 3 networks again. We're going to end up with 3 gigantic networks.
That wouldn't surprise me. Maybe that's the way to go. We'll see. Todd says, so 3 things. No build-up or spot that led to Shayna turning. That's true.
So
and we didn't see it coming. There was no sign.
You know what?
Could have...
But I don't care. It was a total surprise. I don't care that it doesn't make sense because I didn't like the team. And maybe that's the buildup. They realized nobody cared about the team. Nobody was impressed. I still am mad that the Unholy Union won. And like, why'd they lose the NXT belts? But if the company saw us go, this isn't working, winning those belts, them coming out, no one cares. No one cares about either of these ladies. They have a lot of money invested in Ronda Rousey, and they probably have a lot of money invested in Shayna Baszler just because of longevity. Try something. You know, if they saw something wasn't working and they called and they made a change, good.
Well, Todd says also that they were building up Raquel Rodriguez as a credible contender for Rhea Ripley. It seemed like it, but we don't have a clue what's going on here.
Okay, there's a big difference between setting her up as a contender and building her as a credible contender. Did anyone think that Raquel Rodriguez or anyone in the near term is going to dethrone Rhea Ripley? No, the only way it's going to happen is when something finally goes wrong between her and Dominic, so that there can be something to protect her, and then she'll have proper feuds again.
Could they go with either one of them sort of flirting with someone else where they get jealous and shit like that? That'd be funny.
That sounds like too much something that I would giggle about.
Well, I said it, so I'd laugh at it too. So, I mean, honestly, it would. But you go the opposite way. Obviously, it's pretty obvious to go with Dom doing that. Mm-hmm. But let's do it with Ripley actually doing that, where Dom is just straight up jealous.
The Dominic character is more of the oily snake, though.
True. Todd also says, who's the heel and who's the face in the Rousey-Baszler feud? I'm assuming Baszler is the heel here. Come on now.
Todd, the answer is yes.
No, look, it's got to be Baszler because she's the one that turned. So
yeah, I think Jimmy's right with that. But the actual answer is whoever in management or in booking decided to make this move. That's the face.
I wonder though. Yeah, exactly. I wonder who it was actually. Could it have been a Vince thing? Could it have been a Triple H thing? I think it's more of a Vince thing, if anything.
It could have been. You can't rule out the guy who runs the company.
Right, exactly. No,
not everything he does is bad.
Well, anyway, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez win by pinfall with Oblivion from Morgan on Ronda Rousey, winning the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. As we go backstage, though, Jeff, we see Damian Priest.
Better for Raquel, because Raquel has been floundering as a face, and
I can't stand her, Jeff.
She's better with somebody else. And Liv, frankly, is better with somebody else because she's too, candy cornish. And then when she's alone, she wants to be like she's sort of broken Liv, and that's not really her either. She can't pull that off. So actually, together they're safer. But like I said, they're beatable, and more importantly, my unholy union back in the realm of possibility.
Homeboy says, "Damn, I'm Homeboy 11. Fuck no, you've been demoted to 9 now."
Yeah, you know what though? Because he recognizes that you're up to Homeboy 12.
We're giving him a chance, right?
Yeah. I mean, carrot and stick. That was your carrot. Eat your vegetables.
You know what? We had Hogan on the show like a couple of days ago or a day ago, and he never mentioned his new girlfriend. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, he was trying to sell something. So,
oh yes, that's
hot
right.
dogs. He was selling hot dogs,
and that sweet iced tea.
Well, maybe we can put our correspondent on that, and maybe if they do a good job, they can be promoted up to Homeboy 13 or 14.
Well, yeah, maybe. Well, anyway, the next matchup is your Intercontinental Championship match between Gunther, your champion, versus Matt Riddle. Thank God we got this one right, Jeff, right? Because we started off pretty bad.
Thank God for wrestling predictions. I'm not even religious, and I realize how unimportant this is.
You're funny.
Is your ego that weak that you have to thank God because you got a wrestling prediction correct?
You got to thank God every day, Jeff. You have to. Whatever God that is you believe in, just thank him.
Okay. Thank you.
Well,
Trish.
anyway. Trish. Anyway, we'll get to that shortly. This was a decent match. Again, I didn't really care about it, though, for whatever reason. But it was good. It was a good match.
Well, I wouldn't have cared about it if it was a more difficult match, but because Gunther made fairly easy work out of Riddle, I did care about it, and I thought this match was great. This is what it should be. Riddle is glorified enhancement. And I was listening to Wrestling Soup's review show while I was waiting for you to get set up, and Joey Number says, they gotta shit or get off the pot with Riddle. I'm like, him losing was them getting off the pot with Riddle. This is who he is. This is in tag team. Okay, on his own, he's only going to go so far. He's still going to be your lovable loser, pin eater, and then like every 3 or 4 years, he's going to have this spurt where he's going to do something. So like Ricochet in that, but Riddle ain't going to be your future superstar. Riddle is going to be your he will not reach Dolph Ziggler levels of success.
Ooh, wow.
He hasn't won a world championship yet. Tag team guy at best. At least Dolph Ziggler, I think, had the world championship like 3 times. Like Riddle, maybe at some point would go back to NXT and like hold a title there for a few months to be with some of those guys. I don't
think he'd be happy with that if that was to happen.
I don't think he gives 2 rats asses. I mean, especially if he doesn't have he can travel less and just smoke his bowl and fuck his porn star.
Does she still do porn, by the way, while they're still together?
I have no idea.
I mean, that's
let's hope so.
Shit right there.
I mean, I don't know what she looks like. I mean, let's just hope so that his lifestyle is completely fucked. Let's just hope that he is exactly the disaster I hope he is.
She's got red hair. I'm just saying.
Breaking news, everyone! A PWC exclusive.
Strange fact, Todd says, Liv Morgan has pinned Ronda Rousey at Money in the Bank 2 years in a row. True. That is true.
And outside of Money in the Bank several times.
And he says, thank God when you win, but never mention him when you lose.
That's right. Something about praising God every day, right? Guy's a phony. He doesn't even praise the right goose. You should be going Zeus.
Yeah.
Oh, hell, Zeus.
Anyway, Gunther wins via submission with a heel hook, retaining the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Post-match, though, we hear the bagpipes, and it's Drew McIntyre, and the crowd went nuts for him as he squares up to Gunther and drops him with a Glasgow kiss and a Claymore.
Yeah. So Drew is back. Everyone every day he's like, he's going to AEW. Like, he's not going to AEW. I don't know why I thought that Orton was going to come back instead of Drew. I mean, it's England. Drew made sense. But I thought both. But I mean, Imperium never came up to do the beatdown. I guess they didn't need to because Gunther took easy care. But I like it. This is good. And Drew right back there. I think this is a good title spot for him. There's 2 big guys pounding each other. They've already had, success with Sheamus in the middle of it, pounding each other with Sheamus in the middle, a big meaty pound party.
Oh God, you didn't just say that. The only thing I've got a problem with,
I did, and it's not even June.
It's not. It's July officially. But what was I going to say? Do you like the fact that he's chasing Gunther though?
Sure.
Do you think that's a little step back for him? Why would he want the Intercontinental Championship? Unless they're setting up for Sheamus to beat him for that IC belt because they're best friends. And he would be more than happy to do the honors for Sheamus.
Why not? One day. Sure. Absolutely. That'd be great.
Well, I think that's where
do I think it's a step down? I mean, is he beating Roman anytime soon? No. Is Cody beating Roman anytime soon? No. I don't think so. They've got that thing is obviously plenty of fire left there. So no, it's not a step down. These are big matches. This is a big spot. You're on TV every week and you're in the title picture and the crowd was thrilled to see him. No, I think it's just fine.
Well, people think now that Cody obviously is going to beat Damian Priest for that Money in the Bank briefcase and then cash it in on Roman. Do you see that happening?
No.
Do you think Priest will milk it though? he will hold on to that briefcase for as long as possible.
I think he'll hold on to it for a while. I don't think there's going to be any more of these like cashing in within the first 2 weeks. I think he's going to play it cool because Damian Priest is cool. That's his character. He's cool.
Right, as long as they don't cheese him up with the briefcase like they've done with previous guys.
Listen, nobody wants Seth Rollins to not have a title and be on TV more than me. But he has to hold that title for a while to make it something to covet. It might be interesting. Damian Priest challenge, used it on Roman because he can.
I would love to see that. I would love to actually see that.
It'd be one way to get him away from Judgment Day, and also Edge is on SmackDown, so there's a natural feud right there, or a natural person to foil him in his cash-in attempt. Unfinished business. So I don't know. Whatever. The nice thing about the Money in the Bank is that it can go in lots of different ways, and I hope they don't squander it quickly without something really being thought out. Some plan as to not just what happens next, but what next 2 or 3 things happen next, and how do they affect the surrounding characters. That's something that no wrestling promotion consistently does. AEW notably, they forget entirely about someone after their part of the story is over. But WWE can only sort of remember what's happening with 1 or 2 people at a time, unless it's bloodlines where they have to pay attention to 4 people. True.
My only issue is when was the last time anyone has cashed in successfully?
The Miz.
And how long ago was that?
It was during COVID because Bobby Lashley won the belt from him 2 weeks later.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's true. It was during COVID. But I think 2019 COVID or 2020?
I think it was 2020.
All right. Well, that's a long time still for a successful cash-in, to be fair.
Wow, there's only been one since then, and that was Austin Theory.
Right, for the US bout, which is still weird.
No, he came running in during Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns, and Tyson Fury punched him.
Oh yeah, but it wasn't official in the end though.
Right, but then he boobed it up another time.
Well, whatever. Anyway,
did he cash in for the US title? Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
Don't you remember? And we're all shitting, or I was shitting on it.
I would have. Yeah. If I've already forgotten it, it was bad.
Well, Homeboy says, I don't even watch wrestling, but what I've seen, I don't like Matt Riddle at all.
There you go. Doesn't watch
he was
wrestling.
Great MMA fighter.
That's the best. More people, tell your friends who don't watch wrestling, they should still check us out.
He was absolutely.
You know what? Homeboy, you're working your way up to, now you're up to 14. Now you go to PG-13 movies on your own. Pretty soon you'll be able to go to R-rated movies by yourself.
Oh.
Yeah. You're gonna get your learner's permit if you keep the
learner's permit. Yeah. Learner's permit for the 88 license.
No, yeah, I think in some states it's 15 or 16.
It is. Is there any states that it's 18?
No.
Okay, because
for your
learner's permit. No. You're right. Here it's 16. Actually, in Australia it's 16. But you can get your full license in the States at 16, though, can't you?
In some states it's 17.
Okay, all right. See, for us, it's 18 for whatever reason to get your actual license. But do you have a probationary period? Like we've got your learners and then your Ps, which is probationary.
Different states are different. In Maryland, there is. You are on a probation period, like you can't drive after certain hours alone and things like that. And if you get like one ticket, your license gets suspended almost automatically.
Right. Or you stay in the probationary. Yeah, you can't have as many.
You go back to driver's school, but like intensive driver's ed school, not like the one 4-hour course.
Yeah. See, for us, if just say you lose your license for like a long time, there's potential where you have to go for your license from the start, but from your learner's permit.
How many times have you had to reapply for your license?
Never. Thank God. I'm lucky, man.
Liar.
I'm lucky.
Liar.
No, I'm not lying. Never, man. Never. I am so lucky. Although,
I'm going to subpoena DoorDash, Uber, and Lyft's records to see if that's true.
You'll see. And DoorDash sucks. Uber's better. But anyway.
DoorDash sucks. I've heard DoorDash sucks for their drivers.
They do, man. I don't know here they're all Indian drivers. I don't know. What about you? I'm just saying.
I've never used Uber Eats. I've never used DoorDash. The only place that I get delivery from, as far as I know, they have their own delivery people. It's not a moral thing. I just don't feel like downloading.
No, right.
Giving my information to any other place. Plus, I've
Like
got
pizza joints. Technically, have got their own delivery people.
They use well. Some of them stop. Like apparently, Papa John's announced that they're not using drivers anymore. They're just relying on Uber Eats and DoorDash.
Would it be cheaper for them to do that? You think in general?
Oh, it's definitely cheaper for them. They don't have people on payroll.
But then we all have to pay out of our ass because of fucking Uber to get it delivered, which
and
sucks.
also there's less liability for car accidents and things like that happen. I mean, it's I guess it's good for the Uber Eats drivers.
I guess. Homeboy 88,
you know
now
what?
he's back down to under 10.
Back down to Homeboy 12. You just don't know when to start, do you?
Anyway, let's go to the next match, shall we, Jeff? It is Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio. I'm still confused why this is even a thing. I'm not going to get into it that much other than the English crowd knew every single word to Kingdom.
They love AEW. AEW. I mean, it's been proven. They sold 65,000 tickets in 37 seconds.
And then plateaued.
Well, that's just... There's, they're poor. But, I mean, Rhea, all hail by Al. My God.
She looked different, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know, man. She's like a chameleon. She can make herself look so... Look at your face. She can make... Jeff's internet search.
Listen, you don't know anything about my internet search, but if you went on the one that you were envisioning, you wouldn't regret it.
Rhea is just such a cock tease,
my
bro.
internet search is really horrendous. It's like, who are the Canaanites, and when did the Hittites defeat the Assyrians? I mean, it'd be like what's the difference between Ultima Thule and Hyperborea? I mean, my internet search is like completely boring.
But in all truth, Rhea Ripley is the biggest cock tease in professional wrestling, I think. Anyway,
well, apparently
she knows. Oh, she's teasing all our cocks by the looks of it. I'm just saying.
Boobs.
Oh my God, man, she was this close to a nip slip, dude. I know the Wrestling Suit Boys posted that, but I was noticing that too before I saw that. I mean, seriously, she goes right to the edge.
Favorable camera angles.
She really plays it up, man. Right, and she knew that, and I think it was all done on purpose, clearly.
I think she's going for that when Storm had the mohawk and the X-Men look. I think she's slowly going for that. Like it's gonna keep going up and straight.
Do you think so?
Oh yeah, she's gonna go total Road Warrior, like sexy badass.
Oh no!
She's gonna be like all Aeon Fluxy.
I hope she doesn't go all hawk or animal, if you know what I mean.
No.
Imagine that she shaves the
like
middle.
Charlize Theron. Don't worry.
But whatever she does, I don't know, man. She makes things look good no matter what. So yeah, shout outs to Rhea.
You think?
No, really, she's really good at doing that. Somehow. I mean, look at her off the screen. And look at her on the screen. She's two different people, and she looks hot either way. Like, you know what I'm saying?
She was great. So there was some shot where like she was pretending she was a waitress or something. And just looks like it was ridiculous. Buddy Matthews, for a guy who has no personality on TV, obviously in real life he's got some serious game, like Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley. God knows where else he's been. Like him and Ricochet, they got the. I don't know if either one of them, if anyone's going to remember and either of their names in 20 years for wrestling, but they're both in the banging female wrestler Hall of Fame.
Same with Ziggler, you got to give him that too, and Punk to a less extent.
John Cena,
absolutely. How do we forget Cena? There's a few, definitely. If we had to do the banging wrestling bitches Hall of Fame,
you know what?
They're up there.
When we go to 24/7, that'll be a show.
Oh, that'll be funny. But you know what, man? Oh yeah, who was with Soraya? Who was it with Soraya?
Who was Soraya with? I mean, she's going to be in the banging.
Oh, she's right up there too.
This is not a sexist show. We don't believe in
we don't discriminate.
We're slut encouraging. We're sex positive.
Sex positive, especially Soraya. I mean, whoop.
Yep, great picture.
That's the best. Anyway, I mean, she's an idiot. What was she thinking? Whoever was recording that and whoever leaked it is probably one of them three. I mean, come on.
Of course,
it was a hack.
It's the guy that's no longer working for anybody.
Do you think that's what it is deep down, and that's why he really got fired?
Yes,
and being blackballed.
Yes.
What a fucking idiot, right?
I mean, this guy, he flunked out of porn. He's like trying to sell real estate or something.
Yeah, nah, he fucked up big time. Especially they'll push
Joey Ryan's house. He's probably paying Joey Ryan rent.
That guy, oh man, that guy can't even get a job anymore, dude. Anywhere.
Who?
Just saying. Not even in pro wrestling. I mean, wasn't he working?
Which one are we talking about? There's two different guys with the same situation.
Oh, we're talking about the other dick, if you know what I'm saying.
Name the name.
Joey Ryan, man. God.
All right. Well, I thought you were talking about Brad Maddox this whole time.
Forget Brad Maddox now. He's only blackballed for professional wrestling, not
the
blackballed in work.
Fired from Disney World, Disneyland.
I know.
Disneyland.
Disneyland. Poor bloke. Well, not really.
He was the first layoff.
He was.
Poor
I mean, he can't.
He's a piece of shit.
Fuck him. He's a piece of shit. Exactly. Anyway, back to the Dominic Cody match.
He should be the homeless guy that the other homeless guy pick on.
I mean, don't be surprised that guy ends up killing himself, dude.
I hope so.
I'm telling you, because
we're also suicide positive here in appropriate circumstances.
Oh yes, true. I don't want to be insensitive.
Sorry, anyone, Minister, but
sorry,
Joey Ryan. Go ahead.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He can kill himself, literally. I know. We usually don't say that shit, but he can definitely jump off a cliff, and I couldn't care less.
Save the taxpayers the expense.
Does he even have a girl anymore? Probably not.
The girl. I have no idea.
Anyway,
I don't know.
That's karma. That's karma for ever trying to get that dick thing over. The fact that it did get over. I mean, who grabs nuts and swings a motherfucker? It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life, dude.
I'm thinking Rhea and back to the show.
Oh, wow. Well, Cody Rhodes wins predictably against Dominic.
Relatively easily as well. Clean. No Brock, no nothing.
It was pretty much the chicken. He was playing the chicken shit heel, running away the whole time. And I'm talking about Dominic.
Right.
He played his role really well. I mean, he held his own in the match, and but Cody won pretty easily, pretty predictably. I don't even know why this was a thing in the first place.
Because it was.
Because it was. That's all it is. Where to now with Cody though?
I still assume that there's going to be a third match in the trilogy with Brock, so I'm guessing that for SummerSlam. So at some point soon, Brock attacks again, but maybe this time Cody will be ready for him. I don't know, but I think that's where we'll be. And they've got to figure out some. They either have to figure out a short route, like a Clash of Champions, or some sort of where the brands face each other where he gets back to Roman, or or they have to wait for a Royal Rumble again. And frankly, I'm not really all that interested in Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble a second time. So so unless they're going to do like Money in the Bank before WrestleMania this year, not a full year from now, then I don't know how else to do it. But whatever, we'll watch and see.
We'll see. Indeed, I just think they've gone a little too far off the course, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, it's only been one feud and one match off the course. It ain't that far off the course.
No, but it's pretty much veering a little bit, because they didn't. Basically, this match was because they didn't know what to do with either one of them. I think.
I mean, he's like the number 2 merch seller after the bloodline of active wrestlers.
Right, but that could dangerously sort of go down if WWE ain't careful.
Well, according to you, they haven't been careful already, and it hasn't gone down.
I just think it's a nothing, that's all. But we'll see. So far, the crowd is still behind Cody, no doubt about it. We'll see how long that lasts for, though. But anyway,
just get Brandy on TV. Everything will be fine.
Don't, please. She's good to look at, but that's about it.
Well, it's TV.
True, I guess.
That's sort of 90% of what you need.
I guess it's true, but I mean, what's the kid's name? Do you remember?
Don't care.
Okay, well, I guess she's busy taking care of their little
Schmedley. I'm
daughter.
pretty sure it's Schmedley Runnels.
Schmedley Runnels. You know what Schmedley means?
No.
Schmedley to us, like what we used to say, means like it's almost like schmed. It's like crap, like shit.
How about the name is Nosley? Nosley Runnels.
Nosley, because she's nosy.
Nosels Runnels. Oh, like the nose is running.
God damn it, Jeff.
I don't know. I mean, knowing them, they probably named the kid Cleopatra or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Don't get me started on that.
Her name is probably Queen Latifah Runnels.
Let's hope she doesn't get fat. Whoop. Not fat shaming or anything like that. Hey, Queen Latifah is a legend, though. I'll give you that.
Right. And a queen.
And a queen, I guess. Yeah.
Royalty,
indeed. In hip hop, anyway. I guess. But yes, Cody wins via Crossroads, and we move on. But to my shock, Jeff, next, I had to look up like twice. We hear the John Cena music hit.
Yeah.
And I was shocked. I'm not going to lie. I was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, of all the returns, this is not one I was expecting.
And I was pleasantly shocked, actually. I don't know why, but I was happy to see him back. I mean, for now. And he was hyping up this so-called London WrestleMania thing. Or could it be Australia and England vying for it?
It's not
well, you know what? I hope it does go to London, because this could all be bullshit. This could be just fluff.
You don't put John Cena on a premium live event, live on a holiday weekend to do that, to be in there for 20 minutes for bullshit. The deal's already done.
I don't know about that. I don't think the deal's already done.
The other con does that.
You're too confident. I don't think the deal is totally done, but I think they're negotiating.
I just know that. I just know that from a business standpoint, they're not idiots.
No, of course not. But I would have thought they should have done London years ago, if anything.
Well, but they haven't. So you can only, I mean, unless they're going to try to do quantum physics with gravity bubbles going backwards, they can only plan for the future. And since that's really, really expensive and theoretical, you go for the future. I mean, you can't change what they haven't done in the past. So here you go. I'm telling you, deal is done. It is done. We're going to find out how much the various governments are paying WWE for this. It's a done deal. That's money in the bank. You can put it in the bank, and then your favorite guy comes out to almost ruin another segment.
Nah, come on. They did this on purpose. Because I don't know if you heard Barrett. No. Trust me. I think he's on his way back to the ring now. This is the best thing I've seen Waller do on the main roster right now.
All I could do was, first of all, look at his skinny ripped jeans that are like Viv has the same white jeans with the rips in them. I mean, I think
that's what the kids wear these days, Jeff. It is what it is.
He ain't a kid. I think he stole her jeans, and I'm pissed about it. They look better on her. And the other thing I could look at was his little skinny forearms next to John Cena's like Hulk smash forearms, and I'm just like, this little twat. They want this twat in here. The old man's gonna kill him.
Look, man,
this is Exhibit A is what a wrestler looks like. Exhibit B is what a twat looks like.
I think Cena is a fan of his. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been in this spot. I think he would have handpicked him personally.
Really?
I do.
It seemed like he genuinely likes Austin Theory. No, it seemed like he genuinely disliked Austin Theory. No, I think Cena does what Cena does because they pay him a shitload of money to do it.
Well, I've noticed on the internet,
and I think Cena's going to beat his ass at SummerSlam.
You think that will be the match next? I guess it would be, right? I mean,
he attacked him. I mean, unless it ends with the F5, which is fine also, or whatever's.
No, you're right. It'll be definitely. It will be.
What does Cena call
the FU, the attitude adjustment? You mean?
The attitude adjustment, right?
Right. I still call it the FU, but anyway. No, you're right.
Driver.
I do think they will have a match and Cena will get his win back, or will he? I don't know, because he seems to lose against some guys now. He's putting everyone over.
Well, who's he going to get his win back against? It's Grayson Waller. They never faced each other.
Right, and I'm sure Waller would be all for it, really.
Of course Waller would be all for it, and I hope he breaks his leg again.
Come on, man. And the reason why they brought him out...
I hope they amputate it. Not because it's medically necessary, just because they feel like cutting it off.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but Australia and England in particular have a friendly rivalry, if you know what I mean.
I hope it's like Kill Bill, where they take a katana and chop off all of his limbs one by one. And then kick him down the hill, and he rolls down the hill like Bill's assistant in that movie. And then they tape her up and put her in a trunk and take her to the hospital.
Well, jeez. Well, like I was saying, England and Australia have a rivalry that stems back, over 100 years in sports in particular.
They mention a katana and chop off each one of the limbs one at a time.
No, they mentioned a cricket bat, though.
And she rolls down the hill, just her head and torso, because there's nothing else.
Katana Chance gets katana.
That Katana Chance can cut off all the Grayson Wood. That would be perfect.
With a katana.
Of course, with a katana, while Caden Carter laughs. Orgasm.
Like moaning?
Yeah, like Brother Zay.
Don't make me do it. Anyway, like I was saying, you throw me off, Jeff. Anyway.
Like throwing someone that has no limbs off a hill.
Well,
down,
there's that too, like you just mentioned. But like I was saying, did you see the cricket bat earlier?
What?
The cricket bat that Butch pulled out earlier.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It was a cricket bat. Anyway, Australia's playing England because Barrett actually brought it up. I hate cricket, just quietly, but I will say it. In the Ashes series, called the Ashes, which is a test cricket match that goes on for like over a week.
Is Chris
the first to 4 wins.
Chris, help.
I'm sure our UK listeners and Australian listeners would appreciate me saying that, even though I hate cricket.
Sports again that nobody knows anything about. Cricket's number one sport in the world.
Fuck off. I hate cricket, dude. Please, I can't stand cricket.
It's the number
but
one
being
sport
from
in
Australia,
Bengal, Sri Lanka.
See, look at you. I don't fucking know nothing about cricket, but you know.
And Jamaica.
No, West Indies, technically.
Yeah, and Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, and Jamaica.
And Barbados.
Actually, they're one of the best. Barbados, technically. Don't make me call it Barbados. God damn it.
So
Jesus Christ. Here we go. Geography lessons with cricket. Yeah. But anyway, you throw me off as per usual, Jeff. But seeing as here, he gets on the mic and reminds us.
Are they any good at it?
I don't know. But let me finish this. He reminds us that this is his first pay-per-view in London in over 20 years, or that it was the first pay-per-view in London in 20 years. And he hears the noise and feels the energy and asks himself, what the hell took so long? And then it hit him. It's not up to him, but up to the decision makers who don't necessarily know how to feel about London. They think this is kind of a hostile environment that sometimes London tries to take over the show. There's probably some truth to that. So why is he here? He's here on behalf of the crowd. He's full of shit, though. He knows the world is watching, and he wants the world to know that London is underappreciated. And he's here tonight because we all know that he's big on respect, and because this crowd has earned his respect, they don't like when they stop to let the crowd chant, but that makes it fun. They cheer, they chant, they care, and there's not a more exciting audience than the UK audience. He's so fucking full of shit, though. So he's here to try and bring WrestleMania to London. He struck a nerve in that one, didn't he? Right, Jeff?
Sure.
As he said. Anyway, he continues on saying he's here right now for not one more match, but because he knows when they play those trumpets, people listen. And he wants to tell the world that people who make the decisions, what they already know, and to let them know what WrestleMania would sound like in London. See, that's the little tease. I think it was referring to Money in the Bank, like sounding like WrestleMania and feeling like WrestleMania in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. But anyway, enter Grayson Waller. He says he loves everything about John Cena and his career. The fans also were chanting, "Who are ya?" In case you didn't understand that, Jeff. And
I feel like we've already covered the important parts of this.
No, wait. Let me finish Grayson Waller's part, all right?
Oh my God! Nobody wanted to hear it the first time.
he followed his career and he was a big fan of his movies, and he's disappointed he's out here lying to these people. WrestleMania in England, he says, you got to be kidding. He talks trash about the weather and says if WrestleMania goes overseas, It needs to be somewhere beautiful with good weather, with chicks in bikinis, great beaches, like Australia. And let's be honest, Jeff. I mean,
Actually,
you want to compare?
Let's be honest, because the camera work on the crowd was sensational, and the crowd that was in British, there was some good looking ladies there. I mean, it's like you went to a normal sports bar with the crowd here, as opposed to like when you see the AEW shows. It's like you're at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Without the sexy cosplayers.
I've said this for years.
It's like you're at Comic-Con in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and that's pretty bad. But no, but really, you're right. I've been saying this for years. When you compare the AEW crowd to the WWE crowd, it's night and day, dude. They're all ugly pigs in AEW. And the chicks especially are really hot in the WWE crowd. I mean, always, no matter where they go, I haven't seen such... Like, I don't know, man. Like, recently, the chicks are always hot in WWE. And there's a reason behind it. Sorry?
The chicks.
The chicks. I'm not talking about the little chickens, but I'm talking about the women. They are much hotter. The fan base is... The only time AEW had decent chicks was actually at Forbidden Door.
When they had the baddies?
Well, other than the ones that actually work for the company, but I'm talking about in the crowd. In Toronto, the chicks were actually not too bad. But not WWE worthy, though. I'll just say that. Anyway, but I do agree. The weather sucks in London, or in England in general. Their beaches suck, let's be honest. And, Australia has much better women, just saying. Even though I don't mind some English chicks, but I'm just saying. Anyway, he asked John to let him save his career. No, really, think about it, he says. The biggest Grayson Waller effect of all time. We've seen it as his guest at WrestleMania Australia. Cena turns him down and Grayson tells him no one says no to the Grayson Waller effect. John asks for time with his friends and turns his back on Waller, who of course...
Did you get that reference?
Yes, I get it. Blindsides him, right? Oh, with his friends you're talking about? That part?
Yes,
yes, his English friends. Who of course blinds... What was the reference?
There were fans that went up to John Cena when he was at a restaurant with his...
Oh, yes. Friend. Yeah. When he told the kid to fuck off or whatever.
Videotape and wouldn't stop bothering him. And he said, I'm out here with my friends. Do you mind?
Right. I forgot about that. That was the nicest, most polite way of telling someone to fuck off. Just saying.
Right? Continue on reading your script. Go on.
Anyway, John asked for... Anyway, he hits the attitude adjustment to send him packing, and that's that. We'll see if WrestleMania London is a thing. I'm sure it will be eventually. Look, to me, I want it to happen because I think it'll be positive for having those type of events away from the States and Canada.
I think it's positive having those events in any big market that will support it properly. But I'm telling you that they don't do this like this in this venue in this particular manner without it being signed, sealed, and delivered.
Homeboy says, cricket, what the fuck, Jimmy? I hate cricket, homeboy, for crying out loud.
All right, back up to Homeboy 13.
Jinder Mahal says, and welcome to the show, by the way, chocolate-covered crickets are yummy.
Well, he's from India. He loves cricket.
I guess. And he loves cricket to eat, I guess.
I've heard honey-covered crickets aren't bad.
No, thanks. I'll skip. I hate crickets, dude. Have you ever seen them before? Like, just jumping around and shit?
Crickets.
They're ugly as fuck, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they feel the same way about us.
I'm sure they do. They're hard to kill, too.
I've never had any problem killing them, but I'm obviously much tougher than you.
Clearly. Much tougher. I don't know how the crickets are in Baltimore, but maybe they're just smaller than the Australian ones. Who knows?
I guarantee you that the insects in Baltimore will kick the insects' asses in Australia.
I beg to differ.
In Baltimore County, but I assure you that like all the insects in Baltimore, they're armed, they have knives, they have drop pieces. The serial numbers are filed off.
They're criminals too.
They're all criminals.
Jesus.
I'm
I mean, you're lucky.
That's just to keep up with the rats. The rats have like RPGs.
Nothing beats New York rats. But I'll say this though, you're lucky you're in Baltimore County because in the city of Baltimore, It is pretty hectic. I mean, especially years ago. Weren't you guys the murder capital at one stage of America?
Yeah, I mean, per capita, we're I think we were number one for 3 years in a row. We're always in the running. We're pretty close. We're pretty good at that. We have the worst roads, the worst drivers.
Really, worst roads,
the highest rate of dog robbery. Meaning, I think.
Oh, I hate that. That's a thing happening here too, bro. That's a thing that's happening here too, and it fucking pisses me off when I hear that shit.
Now I'm not 100% sure that it's not gangs of dogs that actually burgle.
No, I know what they're doing. Yeah, exactly. You know what they're doing with that, right?
I assume it's either for dog fighting or to sell
it
Chinese
is.
restaurants.
Don't say that either. But it is for dog fighting, right? They even get little dogs, right, like little small dogs, to use as bait. Right. For the big fucking dog. Man, that's feral, man. Who the fucking sit there watching that shit? I mean, seriously, I don't care if you're fucking playing with...
people are watching MMA.
Fucked. I like MMA, but that's just wrong, man.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, no, that pisses me off, man, because that's a thing down here too, and I don't like it, man. I don't like it at all. But anyway... You were saying, is that still happening though right now in Baltimore?
We have the highest rate of dog robberies, or at least last year. I mean, I don't know how often. And murder, we're probably in. I think that Chicago and Philadelphia overtook us again.
Yeah, Chicago and Philly right now is pretty bad. Philly, especially right now, is really gaining.
But we were tops. I mean, we were number one for a while. We're definitely in top 5.
I even knew that. I even knew Baltimore was the number one for a while.
Few places kill like we kill.
God. I mean, is the gun laws strict in Baltimore or clearly not?
They're extremely strict.
But everyone's shooting each other, though. All the crims, they all scratch serials type of guns, right?
I mean, for one, the gun laws in West Virginia and Pennsylvania aren't that strict. For second, we're on a port. We're the second biggest port on the East Coast. So, like, all these
things
makes
sense, right?
All the drugs coming in off the back of trucks, and
yeah. Oh boy. Well, we've got a port. We've got one of the biggest ports too. Actually, I think we're the second biggest port in Australia. Obviously, Sydney's, I think, number one. But Melbourne has more now in population than Sydney in the city, though, not in the greater area. Yeah, it took over. Great. And we've got the most skyscrapers in Australia.
Right,
there you go.
3.
3? What are you talking about? Don't make me put a picture of Melbourne, dude. Because I will. I'm telling you now.
That's
3.
Great.
Give me a fucking break, Jeff. It's pretty big down here, man.
All right. So back to Grayson Waller socks.
No. Well, I'm done with that because I said what I said, and that's that. Next, though, it is the women's Money in the Bank match between Bayley, Becky Lynch, Io Sky, Trish Stratus, Zelina Vega, Zoe Stark in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, look, I was watching most of it, and then I went off and had a shower during this match. I'm not going to lie. But from what I saw, it was decent. Not as good as the men's side of things, but still decent. And I can't believe I got this wrong, and I should have gone with this because I was thinking Io Sky, but she does win by retrieving the Money in the Bank briefcase. She climbed over Bayley and Becky Lynch. They were handcuffed to the ladder, and she's your Miss Money in the Bank.
She handcuffed them to each other through the ladder.
Right.
And then climbed over them. Yeah, no, I thought this match was good. This was fun. It looks like Trish might have broken her nose, or at least got a.
I thought. Did that happen in the match? Because I think that's. Are you sure about that?
No, I'm not sure.
I think she was already like that, dude. To be honest with you, because it didn't look bloody. It looked sort of bruised, though.
Well, that's possible as well. But no, I think it happened during the match. I mean, I've seen her more recently without that on her nose. I mean, I'm the good one who saw Takesha's mole and can't say anything else. I would have noticed that. Anyway, this match was fun. I mean, it was Zoe and Trish who introduced the handcuffs, and they were going to try and handcuff Becky, but they didn't succeed. And then Becky actually used the handcuffs to put into Bayley's mouth to like drag her down, almost like the mandible claw. Though they got a close up, and the handcuff fell out of. Like the claw fell out of Bayley's mouth, and like Bayley actually had to put it back in. That was an unfortunate sight, but it was still. I don't think I've ever seen that used in that way. So it was the execution not so good, but it was clever. There were a couple spots that weren't so good. I mean, there were a couple times where Zelina Vega was doing a Hurricane Rana, but she only got one leg up, and obviously the other woman would, flip herself over. But it was good. A lot of fun spots. It was a fun little match. Pretty physical, and listen, they still did what everybody, including us, thought was going to happen with damage control until what they did on SmackDown, where they totally were on the same page, beating the fuck out of Shotzi and cutting her hair off. But then all of a sudden, like, they're both setting up the ladder, and then they both realize, wait, she can go up. Wait, she can go up. No, is it for me? No, it's for me. No, it's for me. No, it's for me. And then they start fighting each other a little bit. And anyway, it was cool. EO won. Yeah, I'm very happy that EO won. This is going to make things for damage control very awkward, just like Finn and Priest is going to make things for Judgment Day awkward. And I'm all for it. This is fun. The crowd was behind EO. I think this is all cool. And yeah, I think Thank You Trish would have been cool. But listen, EO is a new thing. Trish is not. So right. I have no problem with being wrong in this one. And it's fun. I thought it was fun, and I thought the result was good. I thought the end was good, and it was clever. Like, I liked the handcuffing them together in between two different ladders, so that they were stuck. Two of the four horsewomen. Right,
but the only thing I don't like about that, if they really wanted to, they could have knocked the ladder over, even though they were handcuffed. If they wanted to.
Well, they didn't. They weren't thinking that smart. They were just in the moment, and they were frustrated.
God, yeah, but see, I would have been. Me,
you know what? They were thinking about. Do you think John Cena was here to he's really lobbying for Britain on TV, or do you think it's really going to be Australia? I don't know, Bailey. What do you think? I don't know, Becky. We came up at the same time. You're from Ireland, don't you have any connections here in England? We hate England, so that's what was going on.
I think England's kind of I don't know, man. Like, don't get me wrong, it would be nice to go there and whatnot, but I just find it would be a little boring.
Listen. London, unlike Australia, is not isolated.
That's true.
Paris is very close. Europe's close. North America is close. It's just a 4-hour flight. There's other cities all around, like Liverpool and Manchester.
Liverpool sucks. Please.
It doesn't matter if it sucks or not. What matters is that there's people there that can buy tickets and make their way to London. You have York, you got Glasgow, you have Edinburgh.
Wait a minute. But that's Scotland and shit. But still, same shit.
What I'm saying is that there's lots of metropolitan areas within a 2-hour flight. There's even more within a 5-hour flight where there's absolutely nothing there. Even Australia doesn't have, like, Sydney to Melbourne is probably 3.5 hours.
No, by plane?
Yes, by plane.
By plane, it's 40 minutes. Oh, God.
Bullshit.
Are you kidding? Look it up, Jeff.
How many miles away by the way, in England?
Well, I'll give you a fun fact. Actually, where I'm situated, the highway which is right next to me, is called Sydney Road. No. I'm going to tell you. There's a road here called Sydney Road, right, which takes you all the way to Sydney, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. It is 800 kilometers, which would be probably 1,000 miles, something around there, give or take.
Is a kilometer more than a mile?
No, less.
So 800 kilometers would be like 630 miles. So
you're right. Something like that.
It's probably an hour and a half flight.
No, it's 40 minutes actually. That's how long it takes. 45, not an hour and a half. No way. To drive there, it takes around 6 to 8 hours. I mean, if I was driving there, I'll get there in 6.
What do you drive 100 miles an hour?
Well, 100 kilometers an hour, yeah. 60 miles is 100 kilometers.
All right. So if you were a normal person in the United States making a 630-mile drive, it would probably take you about 10 hours to get there with minimal breaks.
No, that's with breaks. It takes, with minimal breaks, 8 hours. I mean, with breaks, it takes 8 hours. With minimal breaks, it will take you 6.
You drive faster than a normal person in the United States.
I know, but most people will say they'll get there in 6, believe me. It's just one straight road all the way there.
All right.
Just saying.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's not far, man. The point is only 40 minutes. But yes, you're right. We are isolated. I hate that about here. That's the thing that I do hate. And to be honest, Have you noticed the planes, the way they fly? If I know there's one-way trips now between Australia and the US, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if they literally went the way they should go, I don't think it would take as long. Because they go kind of like in a weird sort of way. Now, there's some credence there for the flat earth theory, right? When you think about it.
They follow jet streams.
I get that, but they never go like straight over. Like if you were to go between Australia and the US.
Right.
It'd be easier to go right over.
But it's not because the wind doesn't move the way that your pencil does. And
So that's how it goes? It's really by the wind direction?
There's pre-approved flight plans. There's other things you have to, like, first of all, there's some countries that don't allow you to fly over them.
Well, you won't have to fly over any country other than like the Pacific Islands to get to like the US.
And then there's others that are excluded for military use only. There's also
a lot of bullshit.
It has more to do with the jet stream. If you ever track the jet
I didn't know
stream,
that.
you'll see the flight.
I've seen that. I've noticed that, but I didn't know that really mattered. But
yeah,
I guess it does. And there's Melbourne skyline right there, Jeff.
Very pretty.
God damn it. It is. It is. There's the port there too. Anyway, who cares? Let's move on though. Where were we? Next, it is a WWE World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. Again, pretty predictable. It's a typical sort of Finn versus Seth match. They were pointing out about how, the buckle bomb sort of fucked up Finn last time. Not sort of, it did, but it was on the barricade last time round. Mm-hmm. This time they did it into the turnbuckles. And they were playing up on that story. But nevertheless, Seth Rollins does win by pinfall with Blackout, retaining the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, come on, who else was going to win this match?
Right.
But
less said about it, the better. The only interesting part was Damian Priest came out and Seth's he's like, you're gonna come in? You want to come against me? and Finn's just, Finn's angry about it. Like, what? You're gonna cash in on me? What? It's like, I don't know, the whole thing. I mean, I could understand why Finn would be upset, but come on.
I don't believe in the flat Earth theory, homeboy. I said it plays credence into the flat Earth theory, to the flat Earthers. I'm saying. Anyway, God, that's it. You're back down to homeboy 8 now for saying that.
Wow.
Just quietly. Yep. Said it.
Jimmy's
putting the foot down.
Power now. I'm trying to help you, homeboy, but
you called me a flat earther. I'm more of a hollow earther, though. I believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Giants
saying.
live down there.
There's some credence to the Giants too, Jeff. I mean, apparently there is some sort of evidence. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you've heard this. You probably have because you do Garden of Doom, obviously. But did you hear about where in Arizona where the my God, what's the fucking the Rockies, not the Rockies, but like in Arizona, the Grand Canyon. That's it. Jesus, I went blank. Apparently, they found Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Yeah, they
in the Grand Canyon.
There's Egyptian this there. There's Aztec this there, and listen. I am part of the Nephilim Anthropology Conference.
That's true.
I'm part of the permanent panel. I mean, dude, there's nothing about giants that you can tell me that I don't know.
Well, do you believe they existed?
For the purposes of the conference, yes.
No. Oh, okay, fair enough. I see what you did there. That's all right. That's cool.
I believe that there is something to giants, both in stature and giants in the way that in Greek mythology, there were giants, but they were like giants among men, not physically. They're just in their prowess. Like the age of heroes.
Okay, that's a good point. But that's rational too.
But I do think that there is some memory of larger, hominids, whether they were, the dragon man from China with the big skull, or the Denisovans, which some people say the few bones we have from them indicate that they're very large stature, while others say they're elves. Others say they're very large stature with elvish features. Who knows? We have about 4 bones, like a couple teeth and then some pinky bones. But they've, in the last 20 years, we found about 7 new species of hominid, and basically they coexisted with Homo sapiens. So
Homo sapiens?
Yeah, I mean, within the last 100,000 years, the thought that there might be some that are were larger as well, and went extinct when the megafauna went extinct. Why not? I mean, it makes perfect sense.
And when I say giants, though, I'm talking about from 10 feet, 9 feet, around there, not
right.
7
yeah,
foot.
I understand that you're not talking about like when the average Inca, was 4'11", and they saw, the
a 7 foot guy,
or like, the average Algonquin was 5'1", and they saw, Vikings who were 6'3", calling them giants.
Right.
I think that people would know a difference between like big guys and giants.
Well, I hope so, because I mean, there is some sort of evidence. You've seen footprints. Now I don't know if that was a hoax and whatnot, but as far as the holographics, the holographics go, I do think there's something to that. Even in Australia, they found that shit. You know what the government came out and said? It was fake. It's bullshit.
Might be. I mean,
but it's easy to cover that up. And obviously, the American government says, "No, that's just bullshit. It never existed."
Well, it's easy to cover. It's easy. Well, you can't disprove a cover up usually. If you're claiming a cover up, by definition, you can't, because all the evidence. You also can't disprove that like some sculptors went down there for 6 weeks and like carved it all up, and then
that's true too.
Left and did it like in 1939 or something.
That's true. Whatever it is, it's interesting. But because with the Grand Canyon's case, there's a lot of spots where you can't go.
I mean, you can't carbon date rock.
True.
It's pretty useless.
Well, there's your Garden of Doom preview right there. So go check out Jeff's show, Garden of Doom and Garden Views, right here on the PWC Network. But anyway, let's move on to the main event, shall we, Jeff? It is the Bloodline Civil War, which I don't know about you, but I found a little cheesy that they kept sort of saying that, it's the Bloodline Civil War, blah, blah, blah. We get it, man. They even hashtagged it, Jeff.
Of course they hashtagged it.
God, so cheesy and lame.
Well,
whatever.
It's marketing.
I get it, but come on. That's a Vince thing too. 100%. But when I say the Civil War, sorry.
Do you think Vince knows what a hashtag is?
He does now.
What the fuck's with all these pound signs everywhere?
Hashtags. Hashtag my ass.
Don't get that out of my face.
Anyway, it is the Bloodline Civil War, as I was saying, in Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa versus the Usos in Jimmy and Jay Uso. And, man, the crowd were behind the Usos or what, Jeff?
You bet they were.
Oh, my God. They were going banana, as Pat Patterson used to say. They were even doing... I mean, they were calling Roman a wanker the whole match. They were even chanting, "Stand up if you hate Roman. Stand if you hate Roman."
I thought they were saying, "Oh, bask in his glory."
No. Well, it was that tune.
Oh, see, I thought they were praising Keith Lee. I'm confused.
No. They were also calling him tribal wanker, tribal bitch.
I just know that London is AEW country.
That was saying. I mean, the shit that was coming out of their mouths. I mean, fuck him up, Usos. Fuck him up. Blah blah. They were doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, you didn't understand
any
of
who
these.
Would probably be better? Sydney. You know who would suck? Melbourne.
Really? Melbourne's the wrestling capital of Australia. That's why all the TVs that have ever happened in Australia and PLEs has only been in Melbourne, actually. And that includes WCW.
Melbourne Beach, Florida.
I see what you did there because of Melbourne, Florida, right?
Right.
It's copycats.
Yeah.
Just saying. We're the real Melbourne and we're the real Victoria, Canada.
You're the only person born in Melbourne?
Wow. Anyway, no, I wasn't born in Mel, but I was born in Melbourne.
Okay.
It's not Melbourne.
See, you're not Greek. I knew it.
Melbourne is Greek, trust me.
Oh, Melbourne is Greek. Okay.
Very Greek, as a matter of fact. But
no, that
anyway.
would be Melbourne Alopolis.
God. Anyway, stop being stereotypical, Jeff, as a matter of fact.
Stop being stereotypical Jeff or stop being stereotypical comma Jeff?
I'm talking about stereotypical towards Greeks. But anyway, as I was saying, they were chanting
Uranus.
That's it. You're demoted to Homeboy 5 now, Jeff.
Oh my goodness. The contest. It's a race to the bottom.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, they were chanting also. God, Homeboy. Of course it doesn't exist. I'm an AI, remember? I have to program myself.
Homeboy, I'm off the PWC. Apparently we have to start a network.
What would you call it? Would it be the Homeboy Ocho Ochina?
I'm thinking the Rational Rage Network.
I'm not going to say anything about that. Anyway, they were chanting for Solo, by the way, Jeff.
The Bamin Visual Group.
Like Hamin.
Oh my God, it does sound like that, doesn't it?
I know you did that on purpose, but that's funny.
Yeah.
The visual group.
Yeah.
Not the media group, but the visual group.
Yeah, we're gonna be all visual.
All visual. Like all in for all visual.
Who doesn't want to see this mushkas?
Homeboy's laughing.
That's right. Back up to Homeboy 9 from 8. Good for you.
9 only. I put him down to 8, and now you put him to 9. God damn you, Jeff.
He's working his way up now. He keeps going further back down, but you know.
Homeboy, what are we gonna do with you, man? Seriously. Anyway, they were chanting for Solo Sikoa though during this match, just quietly. I think just to play up on the.
Yeah, they want him to turn.
Absolutely. And look, there's Melvin Skyline again, Jeff.
Oh, very pretty. Wow.
Very pretty. Anyway,
maybe I'll retire then.
You'll like it here, man. I'm surprised you didn't come here when you went to Sydney, but I get it. Sydney's like yesterday now. Melbourne's where it's at. It's better nightlife here anyway, for sure. And the beaches are pretty good. What makes you
think I want nightlife?
I know, that's true. I mean, you're too old for it now.
Under what impression are you at that I'm available to you pretty much 5 days a week or more to do podcasts all the time because I go out at night?
Sometimes you do.
An active social life?
Well, sometimes you do, actually.
Like twice a month.
But still, and I don't even believe it when you say you are out and you were out.
You don't. You think I'm lying. Sometimes I have to send you pictures, then you have to have sexting. You have to hit on my friends.
No. That's your friend being weird. Just saying. I thought it was you doing this, and it wasn't. But anyway, we won't even go there. She's funny though. I'll give her that. I forgot her name already, but I know she was your best friend or whatever it is.
Me, I don't have a best friend.
Well, that's what she said to me. Just saying.
Okay. No, sorry.
I'm serious.
This is a hell of a way for her to find out.
I hope she doesn't listen to your shows. But anyway,
nobody does.
The Usos
I have no support from any friends or family.
Ah, come on. Oh, God. Look, don't be a rat. Don't be a ratina or ratita, whatever you say in Spanish.
Rato.
Or rato or whatever. Aspira would be so pissed. But if you do the little snitchy, homeboy, you know what people do with snitches, right?
What if we call it the Rational Rage Network presented by Spiro Giro?
Now you're being racist towards me by saying that. Come on now.
Oh, Spiro Giro is a band. It was an 80s band. There was Squiddy Politi and Johnny Loves Jazz and Hacha Gugu and Oingo Boingo.
Speaking of Greeks though, did you ever like Nana Mouskouri?
What?
You don't know who Nana Mouskouri is?
I don't even understand the words you're saying.
Wow. Forget I even said it.
Right.
Do you know the song? Oh man, you'll know some songs. They were big. They're the biggest exports from Greece. They had English songs. It wasn't like just in Greek. There was another person though.
I know they're really good at cricket. All right, so
no, they don't play cricket in Greece.
So
actually, in
Corfu
they do.
Right? The Civil War.
Yes.
We're not talking about the Peloponnesian Wars this time.
No, we're not talking about the Peloponnesian Wars.
Not Athens versus Sparta. None of
that. It's a shame. And anyway, it's close enough. True.
You know what? We should do a show on that, and you should produce it and then lose it.
That was more on gods, but anyway,
just for old time's sake.
We'll see, Jeff. We'll see. Anyway, the Usos do not retain anything. They end up winning the Civil War, and they legitimately looked happy, man.
They sure
almost emotional in some ways.
Yeah, this was a typical Roman Reigns match, except he ended up losing.
Yeah, and it was the first time he got pinned, and they emphasized this in over 3.5 years.
Right, by someone named Baron Corbin. So the only
Can
person
you
who
believe
is
that?
so the person who's more upset than Roman Reigns might be Baron Corbin.
Maybe. The fact that Baron Corbin got a freaking pinfall victory over Reigns is
That's
pretty
right.
nuts. Sorry about that, just taking a quick swig. Anyway, look, I think Roman was very much happy to take the pinfall for his cousins, obviously. I think all of them will start.
It's what's best for the story, and I guess it could have gone either
I
way.
think he does care, though. I think he does care. I think he looks at it like he's giving them a gift.
But it's people who's booking. Listen, I agree that Roman Reigns isn't going to go, yeah, it's cool if Tozawa pins me,
Obviously.
or whatever, or he's not going to be like, Grayson Waller, sure, on a second match, sure he can pin me. No, but I mean, of course he's going to have some say in it, but. Yeah, but I mean, this whole story. I mean, he knows he's going to have to lose in certain places, in certain important places. I mean, he's obviously been happy to take super kicks from them and be, knocked unconscious, by them.
He takes them
where,
good
where
too.
in regular matches he would take like 42 super kicks and and come back in 30 seconds. But this was. Some people complaining that the match was slow. I don't know.
No, I was telling a story, man. It wasn't slow, though. I wouldn't say that.
This is how it is when lions circle each other in the pit before they mix it up.
And they did that too, actually, at one point. The standoff, which was cool. I liked it. You know what I mean? It told the story. Absolutely. And so what is people's problem, man? People don't understand story anymore.
No, they only want you to have another half rotation on a 450 to turn it into a 570 or whatever. I don't know. It's just so the wrestlers can find other ways to no sell moves while increasing the chances of killing themselves and other people.
And see, the fan base, that particular fan base, I'm going to say it now. Yous are the ones that are killing the business by fucking saying shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit, Jesus Christ, man. Let these guys tell their thing. If you understand story, especially in the ring, you would love to appreciate this type of match. But
these guys, they would hate Scorsese movies. They would hate old Spielberg movies. They would have hated Terminator. They would have hated Alien. They would have hated Jaws. They would have hated, and anything that the French Connection. They would have hated any movie that takes a child. Kubrick, you wouldn't be able. Kubrick couldn't make a movie these days.
They wouldn't even understand his movies now.
Right, Ridley Scott, you name it, and anything that isn't Fast and Furious. This is storytelling, and this is something anybody could understand what's going on. It doesn't hurt that that three of them look a lot alike, that they all have the same tattoos and whatever. And if you were at your friend's house, if there were such things, and you went over some wrestling fans, this was on, and you went with your kids, and your kids would be enraptured by this. They'd be saying they're watching it.
I know. If I was a kid watching this, I would have been too.
Right, exactly, and that's what it's for, and that's why they have them on Saturdays, and that's why Peacock is happy with them. That's why Comcast Universal is going to be actively bidding and making sure that Apple and Amazon or whoever else, these other jabrones that people are talking about, won't get this.
Well, anyway, I do think, by the way, when the TV deals come up,
not to mention, I've mentioned a million times, Disney has a billion kinds of intellectual property. What does Universal Studios have? Nothing.
I guess, yeah, you're right. It's true. But Disney will sell off a lot of those properties, though, I think.
I don't think they'll be selling off the ones anyone wants to see. I don't think they'll be selling off Marvel or
no, not Marvel.
The
definitely
Mickey
not
Mouses
Marvel.
and Winnie the Poohs and
of course not.
And the Dr. Seuss and that stuff. I mean, Warner Brothers may sell off all the DC stuff. I mean, they've been actively shopping it around, in different types of packages.
Do you think Marvel's gotten way ahead of DC now?
It's been ahead of DC.
Well, it has, yeah,
it has now. But yeah, I mean, I think forever ahead of DC. Though they're doing their best to fall back by oversaturating and putting out bad products. But Secret Invasion. So far, it's been 2 episodes in, but it's better than Quantumania, Love and Thunder, and I know people are pretending the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was a good movie. It wasn't.
Get
You just like the characters already. I mean, it's just the characters from 10 years and you like them. It's like being a fan, but the movie itself was lousy. And then some of the shows have been pretty lame, but I don't know.
I told you Marvel Stadium's in Melbourne, right? Did I tell you that?
Yes.
Yeah. You should. Well, if you ever come down to if you go to the stadium ever, which you probably won't, but if you ever
come to Melbourne, it's going to be the move there.
Yeah, well, you would like it here, I think. Anyway, is there anything else we need to say about this match other than the Usos win? Where do we go from here, though, Jeff?
There's a lot of Greeks. So you told me there's a lot of Jews there. What I need to know is there good Italian food?
Yes, Lygon Street is the Italian street in Melbourne, dude, where it's all Italian
How about
cafes.
pizza joints? So they're like good pizza.
Oh, hell yeah.
No,
man. The pizza here is very good, man. It's not, we don't have no shit cut. Our pizzas are more based off the New York sort of style pizza, but we've got our own sort of way of doing it.
I'm retiring to Ecuador.
You probably will, actually.
Yeah.
I can see that. I don't know why, but I know why, but I can.
Well, my new father is a political boss there, unless he gets assassinated.
What?
It's not so good.
Don't say that. No, wait, are you talking about Lasacati's father?
Yeah.
Really? Really?
He's his political boss. He runs like gold mines in like a part of the country.
Oh,
wow. He's been like a mayor as a rumor.
Speaking of money in the bank,
he's a player there. Yeah.
Wow, good on him, man. Wait, is their parents divorced or? Yeah. Okay. No.
Yeah. He's remarried to. I think his wife is a year older than Viv, and he's got two kids. He's got two kids who are like 10 years younger than Frank, but they're his uncles. Like like an Eddie Chavo thing.
I love that, man.
So I always say that. I tell them, I go, make sure you boss Frank around. He's got to listen to you. You're his uncles.
Isn't that the weirdest thing though when you see that shit?
It's so not weird, but so weird at the same time.
Right now, it's becoming a lot more common, but generally, like, wasn't that long ago where it'd be kind of
cracks me up every time. But that's because I'm a 14-year-old boy. I'm an idiot.
Hey, never grow up, Jeff. Come on now.
I never will. Viv says to me, she goes, I think you're going through your second childhood. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's like at least my third by now. I'm like, I think it's just a permanent state.
Or a midlife crisis.
Right. No, I already had my midlife crisis.
Did you?
Believe me.
Really?
I had like 6 people's midlife crises. Don't you worry about that.
Is that like menopause in some ways?
No,
if you know what I mean. No. I'm saying
it's almost like the polar opposite.
I get you, man. I think I'm going through that in some ways, man. It sucks getting old. No shit, man. I'm trying to stay as young as possible, but I'm getting the white, man, around my beard and shit. Not so much the hair, but the beard. It's getting white. You can't fight it, man. Maybe I need to use Just for Men soon.
Nothing to speed things along like a girlfriend on the side, Jimmy. That's the worst advice I could ever give you.
Nah, yeah, please don't give me that advice. I'll get killed. Literally,
I'm telling you, it's bad advice.
Anyway, so like I originally asked you, where do we go from here now with the bloodline? Do you think it continues? Are we still going to be moving forward?
Continue. I mean, Roman still has 3 belts for reasons.
I thought they were supposed to stop that.
I'm sure he's going to blame Solo for this. So, at some point, he's going to have to be alone on the island of relevancy. And if he's alone, it's still relevant.
Well, exactly.
And then he's going to say, as long as I have these titles, it's relevant.
Well, it's true.
And that'll be check and mate.
Well, that's all that matters.
Those titles. We're coming for you. All 3 of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at this guy, Jimmy. I challenge you to. I'll destroy you on FIFA 23.
Oh my god! Quietly. You can challenge him to Homeboy to when you're back to Homeboy 23, but right now you're demoted to Homeboy 7.
That's right. That. Listen to him, and yeah, you'll get destroyed. Do you even have FIFA 23, Homeboy? God damn it! And was the Flash good? I assume he's talking to you, Jeff.
I didn't see him.
No.
Well, I've heard it's not so good to it is good, but the people who said it's not so good to pretty good, like they're like You know, an AEW fan will think everything AEW does is really good. So if they only say it's pretty good, I would hate it. They're like that with DC movies. So I'm sure I will think it stinks.
I will never understand that sort of tribalism.
Like
I can understand those sports teams, but
it's the same folks who told me that Quantum Mania was pretty good and that Shazam and Black Adam weren't bad, and these were all big turds of crap.
Seriously, movies pretty much suck these days, man.
Yeah, there's people still trying to tell me that Wakanda Forever was good. No, it wasn't. It was bad, and it was stupid.
I think you said it. Well, Jeff, I think we can take it home, man. We've been doing some long shows lately.
Yeah, now I gotta fucking watch Collision too.
Oh yeah, you can wait though, because we're not doing that for quite a while. But really, we should be doing Uncaged, but maybe we should wait till tomorrow, man. Do you think?
There's no waiting for tomorrow.
Do you think we need to do it today?
Yes.
Oh, I feel so uneventful after watching.
We have Wreckage tomorrow, and I've got Guardian of Doom at 3. And I'm not waiting around for you for 3 podcasts. To do a 3rd podcast tomorrow. We're doing Uncaged tonight.
All right, fine. Well, anyway, Jeff, tell them what they. Oh no, actually, before that, what would you give your rating overall for this pay-per-view or PLE?
Strong B.
Yeah, me too. Strong B, whatever that means. I guess B plus.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it a B plus. I mean, it was a B.
For some reason, though, I know what you're saying though, because I feel like as good as it wasn't as good as others. But I don't know if that was just me and the time and whatnot. But
I feel it was good. I don't feel that anything particularly important happened though.
Yeah, even though it was predictable, but not predictable really, because we didn't get our picks right. But you know what I mean. And some things sort of happened out of nowhere where it's like, well, why? Even Cena, it was a pleasant surprise, don't get me wrong, but like, no one saw that coming. And Shayna Baszler,
it's an after the fact pitch, man. That's all.
Yeah, I guess. No, you're right. And he does this. Like I said, he always appears generally on international PLEs and whatnot. But anyway, we'll see. Yeah, B for me, B for you. I guess that's a wrap, I guess, Jeff. So tell them where they can find you.
They can find me on Twitter at IcarusFellMD. You can find me right here at the PWC, and oftentimes, or just as often, pretty much 50-50 at Omni Media Group and Channel Attitude these days. Last week I did the Collision review show with the Wrestling Soup Fellas. You can find Hammerlock Hangover right here at the PWC, and you can find Garden Doom and Garden Views right here at the PWC and on Omni Media Group. Just dropped a show today with George Mitrovic, who's probably the preeminent Bigfoot, cryptid, and paranormal investigator in the world. Author of over
the Aussie guy.
Books. What's that?
He's Australian, that one? Yeah. I knew that. Right. Yeah. Continue on. Sorry. I just had to point that out.
So check out those shows. A lot of fun. Had Professor Trish DeGennaro again talking about things you need to know. So we talked a lot about Belarus and then coups and Iran and Saudi Arabia and all sorts of fun things like that. And, China's place in the world, our place in the world.
Politics.
More like geopolitics. I'm more interested in that geopolitics. Though she tricked me into talking about a little bit of politics, mostly education.
Oh man, I can't keep the fact that we got to do Uncaged 2. I've got so much shit to put out, Jeff. You know how many shows are piling up right now because there's a show after the show and another show to watch that it's making me.
You have 2 hours.
Oh boy. Wait, is that when we're doing it in 2 hours?
Well, I'd rather we do it right away, but if you need time.
Is that cool with you? Because I'd rather have about 2 hours, if that's cool.
It's 9:13, 11:15.
All right, perfect, done. Because I want to just put out some shows,
I don't care,
man.
11:15.
Done. 11:15 on Hameen Media Group, that is, right? ChannelAttitude.com. Stay evil, and please like and subscribe at the PWCNetwork.com, ChannelAttitude.com, and HameenMediaGroup.com. Or HameenMediaGroup.popping.com, and that's a wrap. And we'll see you in 2 hours. Peace.
Peace.
The PWC Network. What the world is watching and listening to.